What's going on, people? It's me, Kirby, aka Kerwin Liverpool. Happy 2019.
I'm Jody. Happy 2019, everyone. I'm here to interview my friend Kirby about his book.
Bam! The rise. It's here.
Yeah, it's a really powerful book.
So thanks for coming out. We in the home. We in the castle. So what's up? What's going on?
So, your book had a huge impact on me. It's hard to actually even articulate.
Wow. It's blessings.
That was, how did writing the book change your life?
How did the book change my life? It changed my life in a couple of ways. When I was in the process of writing the book, I didn't know I was actually a skillful writer. And, you have different areas in your life where you're talented, but, you have to get pushed in some elements. And what happened was somebody or a couple of individuals helped me to write this book. And the book changed my life because I never realized the impact it could have on such people, whether it be students, teachers, adults, business, corporate, and, just being a humble servant, realizing that to tap into people's potential and rekindling that fire that people had, whether it's basketball, whether it's, dance, whether it's music, whether it's starting a business, that fire, was dormant. And this book helped them, rekindle that dream that was inside of them. So what helped me change my life, knowing the fact I'm changing people's lives.
Wow, that's amazing.
Awesome.
What inspired you to name your book? And yeah, did you name it right away, or did it come after?
No, it was very, very, very methodical, very spiritual. Growing up in church, I was part of the old school church, old school religion revival. God's blessing down the place, and everybody's talking about blessings in terms of money, right? And I grew up poor, inner city community, under the poverty line. Mom, 3 boys, just trying to make it. McDonald's was our keg. So I realized that I was in a situation, and I wanted to change my circumstance. And you always watch those movies or read those books or hear those basketball players or those athletes. I want to buy my mom a home, or I want to make it. And I realized for me to make it, I was chasing a dream, and the rags to riches. So I just switched it up and put from poverty to prosperity. So I know I was in poverty. I didn't know to the degree of poverty, but I wanted to be prosperity, not for money, but prosperity in terms of making it out. So a lot of people, use my book as rags to riches, but it wasn't a rags to riches. It's more of poverty in a circumstance and making my way out. And making my way out was prosperity.
So was the process of writing the book a lot of kind of do you feel like it changed you writing the book, or was it something that
it didn't really change me? It just opened me to a better understanding and a larger scope. Meaning, I didn't realize that a lot of black individuals got arrested, and I thought my case was the only one. I didn't realize that young black individuals, majority of them, under 30 or under 25, are incarcerated. I thought I was the only one. So as you get broader and bigger scope and, get a broader understanding, you feel like you're the only one when you're going through it by yourself. And I think this book helped others to realize that when they're going through a circumstance, they're not the only one.
So what are some of your favorite books?
Oh, for this video, I want to shout out 3 that were very impactful for me. One was I forgot the author's name, but some Warren, The Purpose Driven Life. It's a Christian author back in the day. Shout out The Purpose Driven Life. And then the next book was The Alchemist. That book really helped me out. And another book that really resonated with me to share with you guys is T.D. Jakes, Maximizing Your Potential. I think we hear that word potential and, it gets thrown around a lot, but it's very amazing when people believe in you and you manifest your potential.
What's
popping? What's going on? You guys good? All right.
Okay. Let's see. I don't know which one to ask next.
Don't worry, we here. We got a lot of time. Raptors are not playing tonight,
You've mentioned that you're working on another book, and I'm just wondering how that's going and if you want to share anything about it.
Yes, I'm working on another book. I want it to be authentic. I want it to be genuine, and I want it to be impactful. The next book's coming. It's called The Rise from Renting to Owning. I'm very blessed in this opportunity to have put in the time and the effort and the work and to see my results. And now living in my home, this is my first home. And a lot of people always beg the question, how do you buy a property? How do you go through the process? And I just want to share my experience of how to do that and not feel the burdens of, having a mortgage for 25 years, not having the burden of, going and living paycheck to paycheck. I want individuals to realize that they can do it, but there's an approach and a way to do it the right way. And, there's always good cops, bad cops, good teachers, bad teachers, but there are also greedy realtors, greedy mortgage brokers. So just giving you the tricks of the trade and sharing my process, my experience, and from a Canadian perspective, shout out to Canada. And just hope that when this book comes out, it will be well received and, a lot of nuggets in the book. Because obviously we know we're in 2019, so I'm not speaking from the 1950s or from the 1960s or the 70s or the 80s or even the early 2000s. I'm coming from a perspective of, the millennials, the baby boomers that passed on and, they're about to retire and they probably left a legacy for their children. But I'm not talking from that perspective. I'm talking from, you have to get up and see the economy and see where it's going and figuring out, you go to the bank and, you think you're ahead, but you find out that you're 2 or 3 steps behind. Your credit's not where it should be. Capital's not where it should be. Your income's not where it should be. And then you feel like, there's no hope. And I just want to give perspective or shed some light on avenues or things that you could do to get yourself in a situation. Obviously, there's builders out there that, help certain circumstances and give people opportunities, not to the less fortunate, but people that are not in positions where they can make their individual moves. But I just want to share my situation and share my light of how I did it. And if anybody could, take a little nugget, then it's all positive.
What about the state of the U.S. right now? And what are your thoughts on the political climate and hope and perseverance?
As you know, I love sports, and a couple years ago, they didn't really, mesh politics and sports, but in around a couple of years now, sports and politics are intertwining. Shout out to Colin Kaepernick taking a knee, realizing that politics are in sports, and sometimes we don't want to have that conversation. We don't want to talk about race, talk about political, systemic issues, but when certain things happen, in these individuals of sports players, have platforms and they want to shed light. And sometimes it's not about dollars; it's just about having a voice. And certain demographics, certain cultures don't want to have their voice muzzled. So I believe that having a platform, whether you're an athlete, whether you're an author, whether you're a business individual, everybody has a voice. And, the States right now, not everybody has a voice. And people that are trying to speak up are getting muzzled. And, we talk about equality, equity for all. Diversity is key. And I'm blessed because in Canada, we do have a platform. We do have a voice. And it doesn't matter where you come from, what's your background, what's your income. Everybody has a voice. And I'm blessed to have this platform to share. And I think America's, they're not where they were. But as of Martin Luther King, he had a dream. And that dream's trying to still be lived out in 2019. And, we're making strides. But the key is not to go back. The key is to go forward. And if we could look at everybody as the same, as an equal, as a brother, as a sister, I think we could do a better job in, making the world a better place. Not only for us, but for our children and for our children's children.
What's a message you want to give young people today who haven't read your book? Or who maybe won't read your book? Or
Personal plug. If you haven't gotten the book, go get it. It's on Amazon, Chapters, Indigo. Go get it. Try to get it to a bestseller. If you haven't gotten it, go get it. But if you haven't read it, what I would say is it's a personal story.
Watch the movie.
It's a personal. Don't even believe what she just said. Watch the movie. She's playing games out here. What I would say is, for a person that hasn't read my book, this book is about a personal journey about an individual who just loved the game of basketball and had a dream and realizing that he had potential but didn't harness his potential and got derailed by outside barriers, whether it was the police, influence of friends, and just kept plugging on to a point where he started to see change and realizing where he was and where he ended up was completely different. And he was still the same person. A lot of people lose their way. But in this story, he takes you on a journey of his life and realizing through the ups and downs, through the mistakes, all lessons were learned. And by the grace of God, he was able to overcome. And, the key is, believing and having faith. I'm a very, very deep individual with his faith in Jesus Christ. And, I believe that everything happens for a reason. I believe God came and died on the cross for our sins. And realizing that story and growing up in church, I embedded it. I believe it. I'm here for that. And knowing the fact that as an early age, going to church, and now 34 years old, still here, walking the journey with Christ. I have a lot of experiences, good and bad, but I'm still here by the grace of God. And knowing the fact that, I was able to publish a book and share this story, it's a testimony. And that's all we're here to do, to share a testimony. And if this book is a testimony to help someone else, I think I'm doing a good works. And, realizing that, in this life we're here and we're passing through. And if I could help somebody on their journey, then it's a positive journey. So you're going to have ups, you're going to have downs, but hold on to your faith and believe that anything is possible and you could overcome anything with Christ Jesus. And I really, truly believe that I couldn't do this by myself. I didn't even want to write a book and end up writing a book. So it just goes to show you that, anything is possible when you're surrounded by the right people and, you believe in a lot of people, a lot of youth. There's so many isms, racism, discrimination. Then we go to depression, then we go to mental health issues. There's all these circumstances in the world that are, plaguing our youth. And if you could just give them a bit of hope that everything will be all right, and I could be a big brother to somebody, a big father to somebody, then it's all worth it in the end. So that's my testimony.
Okay, awesome. Are there any movies that might carry the same message that can think of, or
Oh yeah, one of my two. Well, they're kind of integrated, but I would say Will Smith, The Pursuit of Happiness, and Samuel L. Jackson, Coach Carter. Um, I don't know if you guys would remember this movie, but Above the Rim, um, and there's another movie. It's on the tip of my tongue. It's back in the day. Um, Sunset Park. There it is. Sunset Park. Shout out. Sunset Park. Well, yeah, a basketball inner city movie. You know, try to make a dream. Yeah, Sunset Park, Above the Rim, Coach Carter, and Pursuit to Happiness was an individual that he was just on a grind, just down, and just had a dream and pursued it. So Pursuit to Happiness and all those basketball movies.
All right, amazing.
Awesome. All right. Little public service announcement. Thank you for everybody who supported. Thank you for everybody that believed, and thank you for all your prayers. In vain hasn't gone in vain. We have sold over 3,500 copies in Canada. 5,000 the bestseller.
Oh.
Thanks, everybody.